On November 22, 2013, Jeanette Grimm attempted to contact her 41-year-old daughter, Holly Grimm, multiple times without success. Concerned, she decided to visit Holly's trailer, only to find it in disarray for the first time. Adding to the mystery was the fact that Holly's asthma inhaler, which she always carried, was left behind. The question remains, what could have transpired? Why was the trailer in such a state? And where could Holly have disappeared to without her essential inhaler? The narrative commences in Macungie, Pennsylvania, the second oldest municipality in Lehigh County. Situated in the Lehigh Valley metropolitan region, it serves as a suburb of Allentown. Presently, Lower Macungie is renowned for its exquisite residential complexes. It has emerged as one of the most sought-after areas in the Lehigh Valley for families who have chosen to make it their home due to the township's picturesque surroundings, vast expanses of open space, and outstanding educational institutions. Holly Grimm was born to Jeanette and Richard Grimm in 1972. During her teenage years, she developed a fondness for bowling and would frequently engage in the sport with her friends on weekends. She was an ardent supporter of Dale Earnhardt. Holly was employed at Allen Organ in Macungie, Pennsylvania. Her bond with her mother, Jeanette, was exceptionally strong, as they would always converse on the phone before Holly commenced her workday. They resided in close proximity to each other, both residing in the Red Maple Trailer Park. Although Holly was not acquainted with many of her neighbors, she shared a close friendship with Tammy. Together, Holly and Tammy would regularly accompany their children to the school bus stop in the mornings. On the morning of November 22, 2013, Jeanette grew increasingly anxious when Holly failed to answer her calls. She made 3 trips to Holly's trailer and noticed that her car remained parked in the driveway. Possessing a key to Holly's trailer, Jeanette swung open the door and was taken aback by the eerie silence that enveloped the space. Upon entering the premises, she immediately noticed a coffee mug on the floor and an ashtray toppled beside the couch, sending a shiver down her spine. Her astonishment grew when she spotted Holly's asthma inhaler still resting on the nightstand. It was unlike Holly to leave without it. Hastily, she made her way out of the trailer. However, upon re-entering her vehicle, an unsettling feeling engulfed her. Seeking answers, she decided to visit Holly's boyfriend's house, hoping to find her there. Unfortunately, he informed Jeanette that he hadn't seen Holly recently, intensifying the gravity of the situation. Jeanette fell silent, her mind racing with troubling thoughts. In a desperate attempt, she dialed Holly's office, only to learn that Holly had never shown up for work and hadn't notified anyone about taking time off. Anxiety consumed Jeanette as unsettling possibilities flooded her mind. Left with no other choice, she promptly contacted the Macungie Police Department. The police arrived swiftly, and Jeanette wasted no time in briefing them on the situation, handing over Holly's trailer keys. As the officers entered the trailer, they discovered Holly's car keys on the floor near the entrance and her glasses on the coffee table. While searching the premises, they noticed a still damp coffee stain and a solitary black button that didn't match anything in Holly's wardrobe. Further investigation revealed that the rear door of the trailer was open, yet there were no signs of forced entry. However, a vivid crimson stain outside the entrance caught their attention. Upon testing, it was determined to be human DNA, although not belonging to Holly. The forensic examiner noted that the lack of environmental changes indicated that it had been recently left on the door, providing valuable information. Upon receiving the information from the police, Jeanette expressed her disbelief, stating that Holly never left the house in that manner and that the back door was always closed. The police quickly realized that the trailers were tightly packed together and decided to investigate if any of the neighbors had noticed anything unusual. One of the officers approached the trailers near Holly's residence and began questioning the residents. Tammy, Holly's close friend, was the first to speak with the police. Due to their strong bond, Tammy informed the police that she and Holly had waited together for the bus that morning, just like they always did. Tammy mentioned that after dropping off their children at the bus stop and engaging in a light conversation, they went their separate ways towards their respective trailers. Holly went to her car and got in, but moments later she unexpectedly exited the vehicle and walked towards her trailer as if she had heard something. She paused and turned her head, as if trying to locate the source of the sound behind her trailer. Despite searching, she appeared to find nothing. After some time, Tammy emerged from her own trailer and heard a loud thud emanating from Holly's residence. She noted that when she left for work, Holly's car was still in the driveway, which was unusual since Holly typically left for work before her. Despite these peculiar occurrences, Tammy did not take any immediate action or inform anyone. When the police were unable to locate Holly's phone, they sought assistance from the American Telephone and Telegraph Company. The company confirmed that Jeanette had called Holly 3 times, as she had previously informed the police. They stated that the phone was still active and indicated that Holly was heading northeast. However, they were unable to determine the phone's exact location thereafter, suggesting that it may have been turned off or damaged. With this new information, the police decided to delve deeper into Holly's life. When they visited Allen, Oregon, Holly's workplace, the entire staff was shocked by the news of her disappearance. However, when Holly's co-workers were interviewed, they provided some intriguing information. They informed the police about a peculiar occurrence involving their colleague, Michael Horvath. According to them, Michael, who was typically very punctual, arrived unusually late that morning. This prompted the police to initiate a search for Michael. As they delved deeper into his life, they uncovered a multitude of strange details. Michael G. Horvath was born in 1967 and resided in Ross Township, Macungie, in 2013. He lived with his wife, Kathy. The locals of Ross Township regarded Michael as an enigmatic individual. Even in the office, he possessed an eccentric demeanor. Additionally, Michael had engaged in an extramarital affair with a woman named Nicole, whom he had met on an online platform in July 2013. Despite their frequent online conversations, Nicole claimed that she never developed romantic feelings for Michael. They had only met in person once, and even then, she felt uneasy around him. Nicole declined his subsequent invitation due to plans to accompany her husband to the mall. In response, Michael made a disturbing remark, stating that he would follow them around the mall. Despite this unsettling incident, Nicole remained in contact with him. On the day Holly disappeared, Michael even called her. Furthermore, Michael owned a farm surrounded by forests where he often went hunting deer. He possessed a soundproof trailer in the woods equipped with a winch for skinning and dismembering animals. Interestingly, Michael had not shown an interest in serial killer shows until the television series Dexter premiered. He developed a fascination with the character of Dexter and aspired to become a serial murderer like him. The series finale aired in September 2013, and 2 months later, Holly Grimm vanished from her trailer. On December 12, 2013, the police conducted their first interrogation with Michael. Upon seeing him enter the room, they perceived him as a balding, overweight man who appeared restless and concluded that he posed no significant threat. The police conducted an interview with him solely regarding his tardiness to work on that particular day. According to his account, he experienced a flat tire while en route to work, prompting him to pull over at an off-ramp to inflate it. He then drove back home to change the tire before returning to his workplace, resulting in his late arrival. However, due to a lack of evidence, they were unable to detain him. Consequently, they took no further action and released him. In March 2014, after more than 2 decades of employment, Michael made the decision to resign from his position at Allen, Oregon. This caught the attention of the police, who were still searching for the missing Holly Grimm. Subsequently, they decided to monitor his activities. Finally, in August 2015, the police approached Michael's wife, Kathy, to discuss the day Holly Grimm disappeared. Kathy informed them that upon returning home from work, she discovered Michael's soiled shoes in the bedroom and the lights on, indicating that he had missed a day of work. She also mentioned witnessing Michael engaged in an activity in the nearby woods, although she was uncertain about the nature of his actions. Shortly after, while rummaging through the garbage, Kathy stumbled upon a bottle of chloroform and Michael's date books, which contained information about Holly's whereabouts. Overwhelmed by this discovery, she confessed everything to the police. However, despite her revelations, she remained steadfast in her belief that Michael was innocent and incapable of committing murder. In March 2016, the police devised a plan by leaving a written message on Michael's truck's windshield, insinuating that they were aware of his involvement in Holly Grimm's case. Their hope was that this would frighten him enough to lead them to the location where he had placed Holly. Unfortunately, this tactic did not yield any results. Subsequently, they conducted another interview with Michael in September 2016. During the interview, he confessed to delivering some items to Holly's residence in 2012. Specifically, he sold her a dryer and washer. Additionally, the police managed to obtain a blood sample from Michael. This was done because he claimed to have sustained injuries while handling the washer and dryer. However, through meticulous laboratory analysis, it was determined that the blood found on the door was recent and not from years ago. Subsequently, when the DNA results came back, they confirmed that the blood on the back door of Holly's trailer belonged to him. This provided sufficient grounds for the police to obtain a search warrant for his home. They were aware that the findings would be unsettling. Initially, the investigation focused on combing through the area of his farm. During this process, law enforcement stumbled upon a shallow embankment where they discovered small bone fragments and a few rib bones. Furthermore, they found a fragment of a scapula that exhibited what appeared to be a gunshot wound. It was suspected that he had exhumed the bones and incinerated them in a fire pit on his property. The individual who made this discovery informed the police that he believed some of the dirt and pebbles covering the remains had been brought in from elsewhere. The forensic team later confirmed that Holly's remains were among those analyzed. The search of his house took several days to complete. Within the residence, a diary was discovered containing detailed records of Holly, her child, her boyfriend, and their daily activities. The notebook even documented the specific times when the lights in Holly's kitchen, bedroom, and bathroom were turned on and off. Additionally, any loud noises originating from within Holly's trailer were meticulously noted. What followed was even more unsettling. He had drawn a map highlighting all the shadowy areas surrounding Holly's residence. Furthermore, he possessed photographs of Holly taken during his visits to her home for product deliveries. The police also uncovered pictures of Holly's bedroom, which were taken when he entered the trailer while she was absent. However, that was not all. The diary also documented the movements of other women, including a high school student he had been pursuing. Authorities uncovered lock-picking tools that he had utilized to gain access to the trailer. Additionally, they discovered multiple pairs of handcuffs, a bottle of chloroform, and stun guns. Among his possessions, law enforcement also found a firearm believed to be the murder weapon. Disturbing images of women being rendered unconscious with chloroform and a film titled Hunting Humans were also uncovered by the authorities. Holly's mother, Jeanette, took on the responsibility of raising Holly's child, but unfortunately, she passed away in March 2017. Although finding her daughter's body may have brought her some solace, she did not live to witness justice being served. The trial of Michael Gene Horvath concluded in June 2022 with a guilty verdict. While the prosecution sought the death penalty, it took an additional 3 months for the final sentence to be handed down. On September 8, 2022, Michael Horvath was sentenced to life imprisonment in Monroe County. Upon hearing the sentence, Michael expressed, "I apologize for their loss, but, Your Honor, I maintain my innocence in this murder case, and I will continue to fight until the very end." Deep within the confines of a landfill in Rankin County, Mississippi, a chilling revelation sent shockwaves through the community. Unearthed amidst the trash and debris, a lifeless body was discovered, discarded without a shred of dignity. Who was this unfortunate soul, callously dumped within the heart of this trash heap? On the morning of September 3, 1978, a disturbing discovery was made in an illegal landfill near an old bridge in Rankin County, Mississippi. The lifeless body of a young woman was uncovered, wrapped in a blanket. This once serene and beautiful area near the Byram swinging bridge had been transformed into a grim crime scene. The victim had been callously discarded amidst piles of waste, as if her very existence had been discarded like yesterday's garbage. Despite the diligent efforts of the investigators, there were no immediate clues to identify the young woman, and it appeared that she had been deceased for several days prior to her discovery. She was a nameless victim, without any loved ones to mourn her tragic loss. The exact details of her demise were not immediately clear, but investigators did observe a severe blow to her head. Completely unclothed and devoid of any personal belongings, she seemed to have materialized out of thin air, only to meet a cruel fate at the hands of a heartless perpetrator. Who was she, and who could have committed such a heinous act? These were the haunting questions that plagued the minds of the investigators. It was difficult to fathom the pain and suffering this young woman had endured before her untimely end. Her body was promptly sent for an autopsy on that very same day, September 3, 1978, in order to determine the cause of her death. The mystery surrounding her deepened as the autopsy report revealed that she had suffered a severe head injury. Although there were no signs of physical assault or sexual abuse, the examiners did discover multiple abrasions on her face, arms, and back. Despite their meticulous examination, they were unable to ascertain the exact circumstances that led to her tragic demise. The only clue they had was her estimated age, which ranged between 20 to 25 years old. The investigators were resolute in their mission to bring justice to the unknown victim discovered at the illicit landfill in Rankin County. On September 4, 1978, they diligently combed the area, knocking on doors and questioning locals in search of any recollection of suspicious activities or unusual incidents during the time when the victim's body was found. Unfortunately, no one seemed to possess any knowledge about the woman's identity, leading the investigators to christen her as Mississippi Jane Doe. Undeterred, they pursued leads across the United States and Canada, hoping to unveil her true identity. However, every avenue they explored proved fruitless, and the case eventually grew cold, fading into obscurity, leaving behind unanswered questions and a prevailing sense of injustice for the victim. For more than 4 decades, the case remained in this state. Finally, a glimmer of hope emerged in April 2021. The case was entered into the National Missing and Unidentified Person System, seeking assistance in the aspiration that someone, somewhere, would recognize her and shed light on her identity. Despite the aid of advanced technology and the resources of the National Missing and Unidentified Person System, the woman's identity remained an enigma. It appeared that the mystery of the unidentified Jane Doe would forever remain unsolved. However, fate intervened when officials from Ohio reached out to Rankin County Coroner David Ruth and his deputy Heather Smith regarding a remarkably similar case in their state that had been resolved using genetic genealogy. Suddenly, the Mississippi officials found themselves reinvigorated and determined to take a significant step towards uncovering her identity. They petitioned the courts to exhume the victim's body, and after careful evaluation of the evidence, Judge Dewey Arthur fulfilled their request. The case that lay dormant for so long was on the brink of being reignited, marking the beginning of a new phase in the quest for answers. In April 2022, officials set out on a mission to unravel the truth behind a mystery that had puzzled many for decades. With unwavering determination and a meticulous attention to detail, Coroner David Ruth and his team carefully unearthed the body of the homicide victim, who had been laid to rest for over 40 years. The collection and preparation of forensic evidence were carried out with utmost care, as they understood the significance it held in potentially identifying her. Their primary objective was crystal clear: to extract the DNA needed to unlock the secrets of the past. In the heart of Mississippi, a philanthropist named Carla Davis dedicated herself to aiding in the resolution of the state's cold cases. Fueled by a strong sense of justice and a compassionate spirit, Carla generously funded the exhumation of the unidentified woman and pledged ongoing support for the investigative work required to establish her identity. She recognized that uncovering the woman's name was pivotal in cracking the case and providing closure to her loved ones. Carla's unwavering commitment to justice and empathy towards the victim and her family serves as a poignant reminder that even in the bleakest of circumstances, there are individuals advocating for what is right. Despite encountering setbacks with the initial DNA testing efforts, Carla Davis and the resilient Rankin County investigators refused to succumb to despair. They opted to enlist the expertise of Othram, a cutting-edge laboratory renowned for its success in solving intricate cases. Having already tackled numerous challenging investigations in Mississippi, Othram eagerly accepted the task of delving into the forensic evidence of this particular case. Armed with a renewed sense of optimism, they embarked on a third round of testing, resolute in their mission to unveil the woman's identity. In a groundbreaking scientific development that breathed fresh life into the long-standing case, Othram Laboratories received a minute vial of forensic material from the 1978 Jane Doe. The Othram lab team refused to give up, despite facing previous failures in DNA extraction. Their determination paid off when they successfully produced a DNA extract that could potentially solve the case. With cutting-edge forensic-grade genome sequencing technology, the Othram scientists dove into the genetic code of the unidentified female homicide victim. The genetic puzzle hidden within her bones was meticulously pieced together by the hard-working team at Othram. Through their expertise and state-of-the-art equipment, they decoded the mystery of her genetics and crafted a detailed genealogical profile. Chief genetic genealogist Carla Davis spearheaded the search for potential relatives of Mississippi Jane Doe. A Mississippi native committed to solving unsolved cases in the state, Carla tirelessly scoured public records, social media, and other sources to track down potential family members. After thorough research, Carla unearthed a possible close relative of the victim, potentially her daughter. Subsequent DNA testing confirmed the investigative leads provided by Othram. The 1978 Jane Doe mystery was finally unraveled, bringing closure to her family. On February 12, 2023, the long-unknown Jane Doe was identified as Tanya Leah Wills Mullins. Tanya, born on May 12, 1956 in Potter, Texas, was remembered as a compassionate individual who carried her mother's values of kindness and empathy throughout her life. Tanya possessed a gift that brought solace to those around her through her melodious voice, even from a young age. Her gentle nature and warmth endeared her to both family and friends, leaving a lasting impact on all who crossed her path. Tanya's encounter with James Mullins, a fellow student at River Road Independent School, occurred during their vibrant teenage years in the early 70s. Destiny played its part, bringing them together in a tranquil Texas town where love had the power to ignite excitement. The moment their eyes met, they recognized their undeniable connection and knew they were destined to be together. Although Tanya was initially reserved, James's infectious smile and laid-back demeanor brought out the best in her. To James, Tanya completed the puzzle of his life, and he had never experienced such a profound bond before. Despite facing opposition from James's family, who viewed Tanya as an outsider, their love remained unwavering. James refused to be swayed by others' opinions and was resolute in his commitment to be with Tanya. Undeterred by their parents' objections, the couple exchanged vows, determined to forge a life together. Tanya, a stunning bride, fearlessly stood up for her beliefs and consistently prioritized the needs of others over her own. Her unwavering strength and determination permeated every aspect of her life, and her love for her family knew no bounds. Thus, the young couple embarked on a journey of love and devotion after their marriage in 1973, a journey that would shape their lives for years to come. After a blissful year of marital bliss, Tanya and her beloved husband, James Mullins, welcomed their first bundle of joy, Tammy, into the world in the year 1974. The couple's happiness multiplied threefold when, 3 years later, they were blessed with another precious daughter, Christy. In the year 1978, Tanya and James embarked on a new chapter of their lives, relocating to the picturesque state of Mississippi, accompanied by their 2 toddlers. Little did they know that fate had a cruel twist in store for them. Tragically, Tanya vanished into thin air after a few months, leaving her bewildered family and devoted friends grappling with the agonizing mystery of her disappearance for over 4 decades. The passage of time only deepened the sorrow and intensified the longing for answers. However, a glimmer of hope emerged from the shadows, illuminating the path towards closure. Thanks to the unwavering dedication of forensic experts and the generous support of the esteemed philanthropist Carla Davis, Tanya's untold tale can finally be unveiled. Now, at the age of 49, Tammy Mullins, the resilient daughter of Tanya, emerges as the courageous storyteller, ready to unveil the haunting chronicles of her family's enigmatic vanishing act. Tammy's father, James, had embarked on a journey to secure a new abode for their cherished family in the vast expanse of Texas. Upon his return, he was met with a heart-wrenching void as his beloved wife and 2 precious daughters had vanished without a trace. The depths of despair engulfed his soul as he tirelessly pursued every lead and explored every avenue in search of his beloved family. Alas, his efforts proved futile, leaving him stranded in a sea of despair. 3 agonizing months later, a glimmer of hope pierced through the darkness as Tammy's grandmother received a cryptic phone call. The mysterious voice on the other end offered the possibility of reuniting with her beloved granddaughters, but only if she ventured to the illustrious Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. James and his mother hastily made their way to the airport, resulting in an emotional reunion between the girls and their father. Unfortunately, their happiness was short-lived when their father was informed that their mother Tanya would be in touch soon, but that never came to pass. The family was left in the dark, wondering about Tanya's fate until now. Thanks to the power of forensic science, Tammy and her family have finally obtained the answers they've been searching for over 4 decades. Tammy Mullins revealed that after her mother disappeared, their family received conflicting accounts of her whereabouts. Some claimed she had gone to Mexico with a man, while others insisted she was in Florida. Despite the uncertainty, Tammy and her sister remember their mother as a loving and devoted figure in their lives. Tanya had a special talent for dressing them up like little dolls. Tammy and Christy spoke highly of their father, who always answered their questions honestly and never spoke ill of their mother. They knew he loved her until the very end and was just as heartbroken as they were. Upon learning the truth about her fate, the sisters decided to honor her memory by attending a memorial service in Mississippi on March 14, 2023. It was a journey filled with mixed emotions, but they understood the importance of supporting each other and paying tribute to their deeply loving mother. Tammy spoke with determination as she shared her thoughts on the recent developments in her mother's case. She expressed that the discovery of her mother's murder has opened a new chapter in their lives, one they never anticipated facing. The trauma of their mother's sudden departure has now been replaced by an urgent need to find the person responsible for her death. Tammy firmly believes that justice will prevail and the perpetrator will ultimately face the consequences of their actions. Despite the passage of time, there remains a glimmer of hope in identifying a suspect, as coroner David Ruth has indicated that it is within the realm of possibility. The Mullins sisters are resolute in their quest for closure and justice for their late mother, regardless of the length of time it may take. The tragic loss of Tanya not only impacted her family, but also left the Mississippi community with lingering questions. However, through the relentless efforts of the local sheriff's department, Tanya Mullins has finally been given her name. Coroner David Ruth expressed his contentment with this development, emphasizing that uncovering the victim's identity was the most fulfilling aspect for him. What's more, the investigation incurred no cost to taxpayers, all thanks to the generosity of Carla Davis, who financed the necessary examinations and forensic tests. It is heartening to see individuals like Carla Davis stepping up to assist in resolving cold cases and delivering justice to families like the Mullins. While the missing persons case has been closed, the pursuit of justice in Tanya's murder continues as the perpetrator remains at large.